Hello, everyone. We are live again with episode 23, and we are so excited to have you here. Before I have all of these amazing panelists introduce themselves, as always, I just want to take a moment to express our gratitude, express our thanks to all of our nurses, those nurses who are working with us, those nurses who are looking to work with us, and just all of those fellow nurses who are tuning in today, asking questions and participating in the conversation. Um, we recognize that you are spending so much time caring for your patients, making them feel safe, making them feel supported. And part of our job here at AMN Healthcare is to provide the same support, sense of compassion, sense of safety for you. I just want to start out with saying, AMN Healthcare published the 2023 Survey of Registered Nurses results. This survey is one of the most significant ways that we monitor and that we share the current state of healthcare and our nurses across the nation. We've surveyed over 18,000 nurses, and we found that job satisfaction has slipped a little bit over the past couple of years. We're hearing more and more from our nurses that they're experiencing burnout. They're looking for more flexibility in their career. And today we are tackling all of that. We are here to start the conversation with all of you and to talk about how to find that balance while you're on assignment and in between assignments. We're going to drop that link for the survey results. If you're interested in looking at that, we're going to drop it in the comments, so you can go ahead, click that, download those results to browse on your own leisure. And now we're going to get into it. So I already see some comments coming in. Our chat is open. If you have any questions for us to answer today, please drop them in the chat. We will do our best to get to all of them. And now we're going to kick it off. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. Hi, I'm Audra. I'm your host. I have been at AMN for 4 years now, and I'm leading AMN Passport. It's our mobile app, so if you are so inclined to download it today. And now it's time to really get to all of our amazing panelists. Kelsey, I have you on the screen first. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. I'm Kelsey. I'm a clinical manager, and I've been with AMN for a little over a year now. I'm just really happy to be here, excited to hear the questions and chat with everyone, and thanks for the invite.
Yay, Kelsey, we're so excited to have you here. Chris, I have you up next.
Wonderful. Thank you, Audra. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Christopher LeBron. I am one of our senior directors of staffing here at AMN and our local staffing per diem department. I have been with the company for about a total of 10 years overall, and today I'm very excited to chat with you all about local staffing per diem and how we can help you find balance.
We already have so much knowledge on this call already. Thank you, Chris, for being here. Kendrick, I have you up next.
Yeah, my name is Kendrick Azubike. I'm a manager of recruitment here for the short-term travel nursing division of AMN. Been with the company for about 5 years now. And yeah, super honored and thankful to be here.
Thanks, Kendrick. We're honored to have you here today. And Killian, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Killian Serrano. I'm a senior recruiter with travel nursing. I've been with AMN for 8.5 years now, which is amazing to think of how many nurses I've helped. So to be able to talk to you guys today is really exciting.
All right, I'm going to say it again. We have a wealth of knowledge. So if you have any questions at all, please drop your questions in the chat. We're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Killian, you have 8.5 years here at AMN Healthcare. Can you share a little bit about what support we offer to our nurses starting day one?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about AMN, that you always have your recruiter. Like, you can call us anytime, that we are always here to listen. And if there's things that you're asking about that I don't have the answer to, I have so many people on my team that I have to lean on, like Kelsey, like Kendrick, Chris, everybody. Even if it's an AMN passport question, I can call you, Audra, which is one of the best things. So, and also that who you have to call as well as a traveler. So it's just really fantastic to be able to know that we are all here to support you along the way. And really, travel nursing is such a great way to be able to find balance as a nurse in general, just because you're able to have more say in where you're going and your schedule a little bit more of, okay, if you want to switch to a day shift, that might not be as easy at your perm job that they, want to keep you in the night shift for years. And be able to explore new locations that, give you a break of whatever your day to day is at home that, I have a lot of people that are like, let's go south for the winter that I, can't shovel any more snow. Like that's a nice balance of being somewhere new. And one of the things that I love the best about, one of those support things is, being able to take breaks off in between that you don't have to worry about insurance, that, you can take a few weeks off and stay covered. So you don't have that stress of, oh, if something happens while I'm not working, that, we're there for you when you're not working as well, really. So, and there's so many perks to be able to be, enjoy the location that you're in too. So, you can really enjoy those days off that you have.
Yeah. Killian, it sounds like a lot of the nurses that you're working with love to have that balance of flexibility, of exploring new places, and that's absolutely the best perk of being a traveler here at AMN. We have so many job opportunities in different places in the United States. I was just wondering if you wanted to share a little bit more about some of the benefits we offer. I know that, we have childcare options, elderly care options. Are there any benefits that your nurses really love?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many benefits of, helping you out with any part of your life that you need with, like with childcare, elder care, if you need help with like financial things or a lawyer for something that's going on, with therapy. Just the list is so extensive, which is awesome. But then also just fun things as well of like, okay, we have discounts for hotels. And if you want to get like tickets to a ball game or, go into an amusement park, that there's those things too. So you can really enjoy where you are and, do fun things or travel during, your time off as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have those options, those benefits to help you combat. Maybe you're feeling a little tired, you need a change of scenery. I know Kendrick has a really wonderful story. I want him to touch on it. I want him to share it today about going above and beyond. Like, again, we're here to make you feel supported. We're here to make you feel safe, and we're your advocate. So Kendrick, do you want to share a little bit before I spill the beans?
Yeah, of course. So one of my favorite clinicians experienced some workplace trauma, unfortunately, and that was while she was on one of her shifts. And it was an eye-opening experience for me, as I never had a nurse go through something like that while on assignment. So she's such a hard worker that initially she didn't want to share the details with me. She just planned to work through it. And I know a lot of nurses are, hardworking and, would do the same thing in that situation. But I advised against that. And she wasn't in a financially dire situation, and her mental health always comes first. It came first in this situation. So I looped in my clinical team immediately, and I had no idea of the resources and support that AMN offers to its clinicians. I did have an idea, but nothing, nothing close to, all that happened in this moment. And it was an instance where AMN went above and beyond as, each team jumped on the situation and connected with my clinician immediately. We got her temporary housing. We paid for and got gift cards out to her to help with food costs while she wasn't working. We got her into contact with professional counseling to make sure she was supported mentally. We canceled her booked assignment as well to give her all the time that she needs to get back to a state where she wants to work and continue her amazing patient care. I've been with the company again for 5 years, and I've never been as encouraged by the work, the hard work of our team and, multiple departments than through this experience. And the dedication and quick action from multiple departments here was so impactful. So that is the kind of support that any recruiter or clinician wants. And especially while they're being employed through an agency for a contract or for per diem. So.
Yeah, Kendrick, I think it's something that's so important to talk about right now. Workplace trauma, workplace violence. Unfortunately, it happens. But at AMN, you are supported. We have the resources. We have the trained professionals to help you through all of that. So I'm also hearing from you that the more transparent you can be with your recruiter, the better. We're here to advocate and provide that safety net for you to get the help or any of the resources you need. And speaking of resources, we have Kelsey on the call. She is actually a part of the team that helped with this specific incident. So Kelsey, do you want to speak a little bit more about your amazing work and the team that you work for at AMN and how you help the nurses?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a really great process set up with an internal team that is what we call like a crisis team. So it's a response for anything really that's going on. It can be minor, it can be major. We will hold on to it, and we kind of we have a process that we follow, and we gather, the teams and the departments that really need to be involved in it, anywhere from recruitment to payroll. And, it can be very stressful for clinicians to have things happen, and they can be clinically related, or they can just be something that's happening in their personal life. And we are here to support and here to help and kind of work through that. I could give you a lot of different examples, but I think that you all know that there's many different things that can come up during your working assignment, and the clinical team is here to support. So we just, like I said, have this back kind of internal team that jumps on it, and we will provide the resources that the clinician needs. So we get the details for what we can, whatever you're willing to share in the situation, and then we kind of assess and we decide like what would be best for you, to help you work through this. Whether it, like Kendrick said, is canceling that assignment, that is absolutely okay. Like he said, mental health is really number one, and we want to make sure that you feel 100% and safe to take care of your patients. That is the most important. And really, you can't do that unless you yourself feel 100%. So that is what our team is here to do. So lots of benefits available. Like Killian said, childcare, financial guidance. We also have, a hardship fund that AMN started, and that's also really important that you can apply for if you're really going through some really hardship times. We have doctors on demand, which would be, helping you get back to work if you are off work for being sick, and you need a return to work note, but you're halfway across the country and you're not anywhere near your primary care provider. You can, use that service. That's super helpful. And then also the clinical team just does a lot of routine things. We do a lot of check-ins, we do a lot of touch points, our surveys, we do feedback from the surveys, and it's just very important for us to be able to be engaged with our clinicians whenever we are needed, at any point during the assignment. There's so much work that's done in the front end, and there's so much work in the middle, and there's so much work on the back end. So it's we're ready to be there and help however we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing all of those benefits, Kelsey, and really tying into how your team, the crisis team, helped Kendrick and his nurse, and then Killian speaking to all of those perks, the travel benefits. I think that what we're really hearing here is AMN is your total talent solution. We are your family. We are here to be your advocates, your career coach, everything in between. We're here for the good. We're here for the not so good. And all of our AMN departments work together to support you. Now, I know we have Chris on the call as well. He's a part of the local side of things. Chris, do you want to speak a little bit about per diem and some of the benefits that our per diem local staffing get as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So I would say that one of our largest benefits of per diem is that it offers the clinician the flexibility to control their own schedule, right? So they'll tell us, I'm available to work these days next week, and then these days the following week, and then we take it to the client, get them booked, and then they have that full control over their schedule. So they tell us what they want to work. And this uniquely positions them to have this ideal scenario of work-life balance, right? And with this newfound flexibility, you're able to spend more time with like your family or with your friends, or maybe if you want to go travel for a little bit, right? Or if you want to pursue further education. So some years back when I was recruiting myself, I had some LPNs that were pursuing their RN, so they were in nursing school. And we all know how demanding and how constraining of time it is to be in nursing school. So they didn't have availability to be working full time. So they came to me and they said, Christopher, can you help me out? And I was like, absolutely. We have a lot of per diem options available for you. So with that, we were able to, get them booked for per diem. And that way it allowed them to focus on their schooling, And they could pull back when it was test time. They had to, put their nose in the books and really study. But then also when they were, finished with one class, moving on to the next, and they had some break, they could then give more availability to pick up more shifts. So it really offered them that schedule flexibility that they were looking for. And continuing on with flexibility, so for travelers, let's say that you end a travel assignment and you've got some time before your next one starts up. Per diem is a really great option for you to kind of fill the gap. So maybe you're taking a little bit of a break, but you still want to continue to work. Maybe it's at the facility you're at, or you want to try something new. Per diem is a really great option. Per diem also offers you the ability to work at multiple facilities. So maybe you're working at a facility now, but you want to try a new one. You want to see, what does this other client across the city have for me, right? We could get you into that facility for per diem, and it allows you that chance to explore a variety of settings or different areas that you're looking to get into. And it's also a really great way to build your resume as well. So perhaps there's a teaching hospital or a larger health system that you want to get on your resume. Having that flexibility of getting in through per diem is a way that you can explore that option as well. And then finally, earning some extra money. Of course, you have that additional stream of income when it comes to per diem. So maybe you're looking to pay off student loans, save up for a down payment on a house. I can't believe I'm saying this. Get ready for back to school shopping. Like, back to school is next month. I feel like summer just started.
Where did the time go?
Where did the time go? Exactly. But all in all, these are just some of the highlights and great benefits of per diem. And there's plenty more, but I just want to call these few out today for y'all.
Well, Chris, I have a question for you. Glory is asking, how does she access a per diem shift, or how does she get a hold of you? How does she apply?
That is a phenomenal question. So you can navigate to our website. It's www.nursefinders.com. And then you can start your application on the website. And then once you've got that completed, you'll be reached out to by a recruiter, and they will discuss options that are available in your area that fit your skill set, and then also what you're looking for. So you'll share with them your preferences, you'll share with them how far you're willing to commute, and then we will get you linked up with what we've got that fits what you're looking for.
Amazing. Glory, we hope to work with you soon then.
Yeah,
Such a great so many questions. We also have another question in here. It says, what's the process, or Marvin, thank you for commenting. He says, what's the process of applying for a position as a recruiter at AMN? So we are supporting on and off the floor. Killian, do you want to take that?
Yeah, I feel like we're always looking for good recruiters, and if you have a nursing background, that I feel like makes it even easier. Really, all of our job postings are for AMNHealthcare.com. So you can see really all departments that are available. So not just recruitment that needs that extra help, but being on Kelsey's team might be something that would be a good fit for you too.
So true. That is a really great point. We always have job openings available on our website, AMNHealthcare.com, so be sure to check that out. It looks like, Oscar, you are interested. So if you're interested in traveling, go ahead and download AMN Passport on the Google Store, in the Apple Store. It is our mobile app that allows you to apply, browse, and be able to manage your search experience, your assignment experience, all on the mobile app. There is a QR code at the bottom of the screen, so be sure to scan that and download it today. And then Marvin, it also looks like you have a question. Are modules necessary? Kendrick, is that something you want to touch on for Marvin?
Sure. I guess it really depends on the client that they're booked at as well. Each client, each facility and each one of our clients has a different checklist of compliance items to get cleared for an assignment with them, to be able to work with them per diem or travel. So it'll really depend on the client, but typically those modules are completed right after you accept the contract and before you start. And there are times where you are paid for the modules as well. It's just not always offered depending on the client that you book at.
Awesome, thanks. Marvin, if you have additional questions, we can definitely get a hold of you. Reach out to us on social media. Whatever it is, we're here to answer your questions for you. And then Andrea is asking, is there a place to access or view the benefits and perks that AMN offers? Yes, Andrea, you can absolutely go ahead and go to the website, amnhealthcare.com, or you can download AMN Passport in the mobile app stores. We have all of our resources, all of our perks there for our travelers and our clinicians. Okay, wow, those are amazing questions. Keep them coming, y'all. We are going to dive back in. So I know that Chris was just speaking about per diem a little bit and the flexibility of per diem. And the question comes up a lot of, how can you be flexible? I'm a traveler, but I want to pick up shifts. Chris, is that something that we can help with at AMN?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're on a travel assignment, we could definitely entertain getting you signed up for some per diem shifts. Of course, if you're on a travel contract, your travel contract does come first, but we could definitely fill in those gaps with you, and you just go through the same process with us of, getting clear for whichever facility you're interested in that fits whatever you're looking for, and then we can get you booked.
Yeah, absolutely. Kendrick, did you have I might be wrong, but did you have a story about a clinician who was on contract and then wanted to move over to local for a little bit?
I did, yeah.
I'm glad
She
I
was on
remember
assignment
that
with me
one.
for, I think, 3 contracts in a row. Yeah, that's a good call out there. And then, yeah, it was such an easy transition. I, connected her with a recruiter from that division. I used to work in that division. Actually, Chris was my fearless leader, actually, back when I was there. And, easy transition. We have an amazing recruitment team in that division as well, and just got her set up with some per diem shifts. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, and just to reiterate, we're just sharing different ways and avenues that you could take if you're feeling that burnout, if you're feeling like you want a change of pace, a change of scenery, you want to go home for the summer, or I guess the fall now that that's coming up soon. So crazy. So and Kelsey, I know that you talked a little bit about some of those perks and some of the resources that you all provide. Are there any other perks or benefits that you talk through a lot with your clinicians, or if you have any stories to share about how our benefits have helped some of the clinicians that you might work with?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the greatest things about the clinical team is that we are a 24/7 accessible team. So, we have East Coast to West Coast clinical managers, and then we also have after hours on call. So, no matter what the time of day is, and you have something you need to get a hold of someone for clinically, personally, you're going to be able to access someone, which is wonderful. So, whether it is actually the clinical manager that's with you on that assignment or the on-call, someone will be there to help you. So I think that's also just kind of peace of mind, knowing that you have a contact, not only just at the facility or the place that you're at, but someone online that you can get a hold of and talk through whatever you need. We have a really great team, and a very simple example of a crisis that we were involved in is we unfortunately had a clinician who had a family member, a brother that passed away, and he had 2 children, 2 young children, and he was a single father. And that clinician was on assignment, and she inherited those 2 children, and she just didn't know what to do, where to start. And wanting to help her stay on assignment and stay working, which is what she really needed to do, knowing that she had a lot more costs coming at her, we tried to help support, with childcare. She just was like, these are not school age yet, but I really need to have some childcare. So we really just helped her through that. We have benefits that can specifically work towards that. And that was just one really good example. And we ended up getting her what she needed, and she was able to stay on assignment and stay working and keep that income going. And we also gave, some extra little perks in there, some gift cards for food and things like that were also very helpful for her, just peace of mind. And she really just needed that. And she needed to know that she had some kind of other support going on, knowing that she didn't have a very big family, and she was traveling in a different place, not her hometown. So that was also a really great thing to help with.
I am so happy that you shared that story. I think that just the whole premise of today is talking about support and really having that relationship with your recruiter to feel like you can share all of these good times and the bad times, the hard times, the times you need more support. So I just want to thank all of these panelists for helping out at all of these stages of life, all of these seasons of life. Our nurses are not alone. We never want anyone to feel alone. And I think another perk that we have, another benefit, another way for you to find that balance while you're on assignment is we can help connect you with other fellow clinicians who might also be on assignment or also in your area. Don't forget that those are also questions you can ask. You can connect with fellow clinicians on AMN Passport. You can upload tips and tricks for new travelers. So at any stage of your career at AMN Healthcare, we are here to support. We have people to support, and we really are one big giant family. I want to ask all of the panelists something. I'm not sure if they have anything prepared. So I'm so sorry to throw this at you, but I want to know, how are you all taking care of yourselves? I know for me, I love indoor cycling and I love walking my dog, but these are also small things that our nurses can do while they're traveling, while they're on a shift. Kendrick, do you have anything that you like to do that could be helpful?
Yeah, I guess first thing that comes to mind is something small. Is just trying to on the tougher days, the more frustrating days, the more stressed out days. I just try to remember everything I'm thankful for, and all that God's blessed me with. It's hard to stay, stressed and frustrated when I think about that. But also getting some shots up, shooting some hoops.
Yeah, just finding those small moments of joy. I love that so much. Killian, what about you?
So I'm a crazy dog mom. I have 3 senior dogs. 2 we just adopted last month. So they are my biggest mental health break. Even throughout the day, they usually are napping behind me, but I kicked them out for this. But they are always, okay, if I need to pick me up, let's go cuddle. So
that is another perk. You can travel with your pets. We also provide assistance with finding housing with your pets. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask your recruiters. We're here to help there. Kelsey, what about you?
Well, I mean, what I find the most what I'm most jealous about with travel nursing is that the people that you get to meet. So I love meeting new people. Being with AMN a little over a year, I'm still meeting new people every day. So I try to get a hold of someone that's new and different and maybe ask a question about something just to kind of help myself learn. I think I that's an environment that I love the most, is just learning and kind of meeting new people. So I try to do that as much as I can, at work and outside of work. I live in a beautiful place. I'm in Washington State, so I try to enjoy that as much as I can too when it's not raining up here. So, you just try to get yourself out there, step away when you need to, just recognize when you need to take time for yourself. I think that's super important.
I love that. Being able to reach out and feel connected is such a big part of growing and feeling included in community. So that's amazing. Chris, what about you?
I have a couple of things. So I love playing video games. To me, that's just kind of a way that I can break away from the stress of life that happens, it ebbs and flows. But yeah, playing video games is one of the things I love to do. And I have the Nintendo Switch, so I take it with me so I can go on the go with it too, especially on long plane rides. And my other thing that I love to do is I love to cook. I have a very strong attachment to cooking. So I don't mind it, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, big elaborate parties and hosting for folks. It's just, cooking's been a big staple in my life. And as I continue to grow up, I grew to love it even more. And I know a lot of people don't like cooking because they get to clean up afterwards. My tip is clean as you go. It makes it a lot easier when everything's already in the dishwasher versus turning around and seeing all the pots and pans on the stove.
How do we get invited to a dinner party? That sounds amazing.
That's the next session. We'll talk about that then.
Dinner party at Christmas. I love that. Okay, one last question. Simonetta, it looks like you asked, do you provide primary health care services? Killian, do you wanna take that one before we sign off and say goodbye for episode 23?
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't mention this sooner. We do have full health insurance benefits. That's one of the great things. So, as I had mentioned that, yeah, if you take a break, that you're still covered. There are like 5 different healthcare plans to choose from. So, depending on what kind of coverage you need, from like a super basic up to like a insane high coverage, and yeah, everything in between, and dental and vision. So, it's a great thing. You're covered while you're working, and then as long as your next assignment starts within a few weeks, you stay covered. So, is a great thing. I'm sure Audra can send you more information on that too.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Killian. Thank you, everybody who was able to comment and participate in the chat today. And thank you for tuning in for episode 23. Be sure to download AMN Passport if you're interested in traveling with us, if you're searching for a job or you're managing your assignment, and follow us on social media at AMN Nurse. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of the social media platforms. And we cannot wait to see you next time. Thank you all. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.